I would probably take an average 1-2 grinder playing his A game over an average 25-50 grinder playing his C game any day.
You're listening to the Mindset Advantage podcast. Each week, you'll get to peek inside the greatest minds in the game and discover what makes them successful.
Mental toughness separates those that can't handle the stress.
If you're going to treat it like an amateur, you're probably going to have amateur results.
Now here's your host, Elliot Rowe.
Hey, Elliot Rowe here. I'm very excited to announce that for the next few episodes, Stephen Baker will be guest hosting the show. Stephen has experience both as a professional poker player, strategic coach, and now a member of my mindset and performance coaching world. I can confidently say that Stephen's one of the world's leading experts in poker mindset and performance, and I'm really excited to hear the conversations he has with some fantastic guests. And with that, here's Stephen.
My guest on today's podcast is Alex Beldarion. Alex built a successful career in MTTs and then moved to the spin and go format to enable him to balance family life and poker. Alex swiftly moved to a high level as a spins player and is now one of the founders and head coaches at Team BAS Poker, who provide high quality spins training. We'll be looking at the changes and the challenges faced by Alex in his poker career and how he is meeting them now and how he's going to take them forward in the future. So without further ado, let's get to the interview with Alex. So welcome, Alex. Good to see you. We knew each other back in the day when we were both in a MTT stable together, but I want to take you back even further than that and just share with everybody who's watching and listening really the very beginning of your poker journey. How did you first get into poker?
Yeah, first, thank you for having me here. Very honored to be here. It started a very, very long time ago. I think a couple of you might have been like 5 or 6 years old back then, because I started in 2005. 2005, this was the first time when I got into poker, but I wasn't professional there. Like I started with 1 cent, 2 cents. I went there via poker strategy. I don't know if you know that. Like back in the days, it was like huge. And I got like $5 on PokerStars, and then I started my journey on the fixed limit tables, 1 cent, 2 cents. For the first 3 or 4 years, I was a total recreational, but then I studied more, watched a couple of videos, and improved a little bit, and got up to like $5, $10 limit, and then played always MTTs on the side, and got a couple of scores there. And then at some point, I just moved to entities. However, I was not the professional there yet. I was just in school and also studying. And professionally, I'm playing since 2011, I would say. Mainly entities till 2015. There, I made the transition to spin and goes. Okay. Which I'm playing now. Like I had one, like when we were together in a stable, I was back to entities for like 2 years, but then I moved back to spins now.
I see. So let's just circle back. I'm going to come in more detail to your transition from MTTs to spins in a minute. But obviously there was at some point you decided I was going to become you were going to become a professional. What at that stage, what were the choices in terms of, were there other things that were pulling you, parental pressure? Was there anything pushing you in a different direction? Was it a difficult decision at that stage?
I started studying, right? And it was mainly because I didn't know what to do. At this point, I was just a recreational. I was just playing very, very low. So studying was like the logical step. I studied economics and engineering, like a combo of this. Never really loved it. It was like boring as hell. I was never in the lectures. I just write the exams and somehow went through it. And I got better and better at poker. And I didn't ever made a direct decision to get professional. I was just making more and more money with poker. And when I ended the studies, I never took a job. I didn't even wanted to. like I always knew that I actually don't want to work for someone else, like for like a big company or something. That's something I really never wanted to do. And also always studying didn't felt right to me, but I just, like at some point I was so far into it that I just finished it. Like, always my mother says, do something that you have something as safety, but yeah, I actually don't think it is a real safety to have something like this. Like now I have a degree, like a bachelor's degree that I made in like 9 years, and now I'm like already 12 years out of study, and I don't think this brings me anything, right? But
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of almost slide into becoming a professional player.
Yeah, exactly.
And MTTs is your format initially.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, as we know, you get into spins. Just tell me a little bit about, why that came about, because you were successful in the MTT format, but you decided to make a conscious choice at some point to switch to spins. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I got my first child. Like I was then married and got my first child, and I decided MTTs is not really the format that is very sustainable. So I watched around. I played a little bit of NL 200 Zoom. I got great coachings, but that wasn't really for me. Like I was kind of bored from this format, and also like it was just not for me. PLO, too many cards. I always don't see the gut shots and don't see the open straight draws, etc. Like it was very hard for me to get into this game as well. And then I found spins, and it was very interesting. It was a little bit similar to MTTs as well. Like there are a couple of common spots, and so that was my choice. It's very good to play when you need to be a little bit more flexible, right?
Yeah.
You can take care of your family a little bit better, and it's a different world. It's not that you have to play at night. It is not really that you have to play at night in MTTs, but that is what I thought at this time as well, right? So I start at 4 p.m. European time and finish at 4 a.m. So that was my normal MTT day, and I thought, that's not really going to happen. Especially the nights are tough when you have baby.
I agree with you there. I mean, there's definitely, I think it's a false perception in MTTs that you have to play, say, in the European peak time in the evenings. But I think what is definitely true is one way or the other, MTTs is quite a hard format in terms of its lack of flexibility. What is clear is whatever schedule you choose, the daytime or the evening, you're going to be sat there for 8 hours, whereas spins
minimum, like these are short sessions, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hours are the short ones.
That's right. I mean, 8 hours is like your sort of absolute bare minimum. Probably the day's not
exactly.
Doing well.
Exactly.
I mean, it's interesting as well. I mean, one thing I would say to people out there is, I mean, I sort of, I started off as a cash game player, and then I played a combination of MTTs and spins, and I did find that spins really improved my MTT game. So I think people who still like the idea of playing maybe, say, the odd live MTT, spins is a great format because you become so good at that 25 big blinds and less stack.
I agree totally. Especially like three-way. And the small blind was big blind was small blind situations. You will have such a huge edge with the normal MTT population. And as soon as you are getting like three-handed or heads up on the final table, maybe three-way a little bit less because there's still quite a lot of ICM involved. But as soon as you're getting heads up, you will be so confident in your decisions that like I played both formats also simultaneously at some point, like long MTT sessions. Or like every Sunday I tried to play the MTT sessions, but like Monday to Saturday I just played spin and goes for like 5 years or so. But now that I have 4 kids, I don't play any MTTs for now almost 2 years. Not even on Sundays. But you can mix it quite well. And you definitely will improve your game. LTT.
For sure. And I mean, I'm going to hold my hand up because I remember when I was first taken into a stable and the guy said, I want you to play MTTs and spins. And I was like, no, spins isn't for me. It's far too, it's far too gambly. It's not at all. It's not proper poker. And I have to say, having got some really high quality coaching in the format, it is the skill levels are incredible of those guys and guys like you. The way you can manipulate really short stacks, the way you can even, it goes way beyond sort of GTO and knowing how to exploit even at very shallow stack depths. It's an incredibly useful skill. And I have to say, you still have a little bit of the thrill for me. And this is maybe the secret fish in me coming out, which still enjoys the thrill of winning. That feeling of chasing a prize and winning, coming first. It's a great format, and I think that even if you're a professional, you still get that buzz. But it definitely, I think, still pulls in a lot of the recreationals, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like this thrill of the possibility of win $1 million or something, right? So it's always there. There's no format nowadays where you have more recreationals. I think even MTTs, they're like playing like $20 MTTs. You like half of the table or more is nowadays full of regs. And I mean, MTTs are still like extremely profitable, and it's not like this. But a lot of recreationals are now in the spin and go format. And I think they're even moving a little bit from the reg speeds to the nitro format as well. So I think it's even beneficial to be able to play like both. There's like a little bit like it should be the same game, like the reg speeds and the flashes or nitros, but they are played actually quite different. Like the pool is playing quite different. It is as if they're like two different games.
That's interesting.
Both formats very interesting, and yeah, like six or 7 or 8 big blinds is still a lot to play, and a lot like there's still a lot of edge to generate with recreational players, and there's a couple of regulars as well, who are a little bit more unexperienced at shallow stacks, for sure.
So let's just talk about now. You've moved into spins, and then you become part of Team BAS. I want you to talk about Team BAS. How did it come about? What is Team BAS? Tell me a little bit about the philosophy, because it isn't a training site in the traditional sense, but it's not a stable either. So just tell me a little bit about the space you're occupying.
I mean, we are not a stable anymore. We first started as a stable. I did it together with Race Your Edge coach Azaban. But at some point we did it for like 2 years. But then, we decided to finish the project and do a little bit differently. Then I teamed up with Sido and Andy, and we founded Team BAS Poker, and we are now a spin and go school. So we are offering coachings in membership basis, right? So you will have like 3 coachings, live coachings, group coachings every week, and then you have like hand history channels, etc., etc. So it is a little bit different than Run It Once, where you have like only the videos. So with us, you will have like live group coachings that you can attend, but you will also have the full access to our video library, right? So there are like 300-400 hours of video library. And the idea was that, like, basically in spin and goes, it is very hard to find content, right? All of the content is kind of hidden in stables. It is how it is. And so for someone who don't want to get into these very long-term contracts, there's really not too much out there where you can get like very high quality content and improve your game. So that's our philosophy, to actually provide this content for like a very affordable price to the broader community, and that's what we are doing basically.
Yeah, and I mean, I have to say, having sort of now become a member of your community, I have to say, I think it's incredibly good in terms of the content, but also I think the engagement That's one thing I've really noticed, on the Discord server. The extent to which members of your community really discuss things with a great deal of care, a great deal of respect, which isn't always present. But I was reading one thread the other day where one of your members was talking about how it reads on recreationals in the big blind. And honestly, you would pay for content that good, and that's your community. It's great. I mean, how have you brought that about, or is it just organic? I mean, is it just the way it's just happened because of the way you have created the community?
Yeah, the thing is that I think you create what you seed, right? So I always try to be good, like a good role model. Always treat everyone with respect, and I think people they see how the tone is in the community, and then it just like it doesn't really change. It's hard to get in and make it like like bad. You know what I mean? Like everyone grows. Like if you are at a lower level, then you will rise up to this level. And I think that it just attracts a lot of smart people, especially like there's this difference. If you're going into a stable, you're getting staked, right? You're getting staked, and it is a little bit different when you are paying for something that you where you want to learn. I mean, in the end, they're paying in the stable as well. It's like 10 or 20 times as much normally if you do the math, but it feels different because you're getting money to play. But in the end, with the cuts, etc., you're paying way more for the coachings. However, if you put in the 100 or 1K bucks that you're paying for the annual, which is very, very, very affordable, by the way, then you want to use the content, you want to improve. Like nobody who doesn't want really to improve is joining, right? Normally you're joining because you want this environment, you want this community, you want like-minded people to grow. And so I think this is happening automatically.
Yeah.
When you're also very respectful as a coach with other people, and because I saw coaches like shouting at their players, or like it's like incredible how some people are coaching. Like I don't even know how these people can be coaches. But
I mean, that's the other thing I noticed, actually, the degree of engagement between coaches and the community. I mean, look, it's hard. If you're on a site like Run It Once, which is a great site, I've got a lot of respect for the content that you put out.
I was a member for like 10 years.
But it's hard because there's so many members, whereas the beauty of your community is, yes, it's got a good membership, but it feels like it's quite tight-knit. It feels like everybody's almost friends. And you guys, you as the coaches, I see you regularly engaging and being involved in discussions, and that's really fantastic. Just want to talk a little bit about a project we're working on together, and it will really link into my question about the issue of mindset and challenges which you've come across, particularly in spins, but I'm interested generally. I mean, what have been your biggest mental game challenges throughout your professional career, and how have you addressed them? And I'm thinking, as I say, generally, maybe in MTTs and maybe in spins, what have you observed as the big mental game challenges for yourself and maybe for other people?
Yeah, so I think I've been through all of it. Basically, in my whole career, there were so many mental game issues. And I struggled a lot with like three different things. First is I always had a little bit of lack of confidence, a little bit lack of self-worth, with which always leads to a little bit to like self-sabotage. And it's very hard to address, right? So it's very hard to get over these kind of things, because in the end, when you have these like like a little bit less self-worth and self-confidence, then it will be like you'll never create the results better than what you think you're worth, right?
Yeah.
So even if you have a good MTT cache, let's say, I don't know, I had a couple of big caches, but somehow I always got like back to zero, or not, like I didn't went broke, but like it didn't last very long. And I think this was one of the reasons. Like life will get you down for what you think you deserve. And how I addressed it, I think first, like technical knowledge of the game will help a lot with self-confidence at the tables. Like if you like trying to see the edges is very important. Like people sometimes just play and they don't recognize these kind of things. But sometimes I like, for example, okay, so here this guy should have played like this and this and this. So I know I would play this situation a little bit better than him if we would be like in the reverse situations. So seeing a couple of edges, also with other good players, when you see a couple of mistakes from very, very good players, then you know, okay, maybe you don't have an edge, but these guys are making mistakes too. So a little bit this helps with the self-confidence. Self-worth, yeah, I mean, family and kids, etc., help a lot. So now I'm a father for kids, and I would say I'm a grown man, right? So that's always helping with these kind of issues. And yeah, like always trying to improve. I know, like if you're staying at the same level, it's not like staying. It's like getting worse basically. So not only on the technical side, but also on the mindset side. I think I got more mindset coachings, one-on-one coachings than I got technical coachings. And I got a lot. I had like plenty of one-on-ones, and I bought like 2 or 3 courses for like I actually don't know what the names was. Like 1 or 2 were from Elliot, but they are like a little bit older.
Yeah. I mean, look, I agree with you. Look, there is no substitute. If you can't, I'm not a great believer in faking it until you make it in the sense of, in poker, in the sense that you have to have a bedrock of technical knowledge. Your confidence will be built on foundations of sand if you're not putting in the hard work, and your conscious mind will probably know that you are not really good enough to compete at a certain level if you are not putting in the technical work. But interestingly, and this is part of the project we've been working on together, I think there are people who just are always looking for technical upgrades, which is great, but they don't understand that there's other aspects of their mindset or their general preparation which undermines them. And we've been working on a project together on effectively performance coaching for spins, but it's generally applicable. I mean, I think anybody who plays poker could buy the course and would value it, because it's really about saying, why is it that you have the technical knowledge but you're not actually getting the maximum value out of it at the tables? And we address the full range of performance issues, be it sleep, nutrition, exercise, recovery, how to prepare yourself in mindset terms. And you know, from your experience, is this something which you've observed, that you've got players who maybe you look at and think, wow, you know, you're technically really good. What's going on? Why are you not performing? Why are you not actually achieving?
This was actually one of the biggest issues I always had through my career. I had this technical knowledge, and this was what I was bringing to the tables. In MTTs, it was quite extreme. But I think it also had a little bit different reasons. Like, I was very bored while playing. I just clicked buttons, basically. I wasn't really thinking too much. Like in MTTs, I just start a session, and then it was just like a routine. It was just grinding. What helped me there was just like a lot of mindset stuff, right? So why am I bored? And like I was just not, for me, as soon as it gets a grind, it's not interesting for me anymore. Like the most interesting part of poker is for me the theory part, right? So I always try to improve the game. So as soon as I played deliberately and made deliberate learning, so with a goal in mind and with with like session goals, always trying to improve in a certain area, etc., etc. This helped a lot. So I didn't like the results didn't really matter when I just focused on improving. Then I was playing way better. And what helps with the focus is all like the focus that you need to make these like deliberate playing are all the mindset things that we are discussing, right? So good nutrition, like having heavy meals. Like back in the days, like pizza was my number one food while grinding. And of course, like if you put in a pizza, after the pizza you're like this, and then instead of like deliberately playing and trying to focus, you're watching Netflix. You know what I mean? Like in MTTs, it's no problem. Like I would still make money and watch Netflix. Like everyone is doing it still, like nowadays. But this is nothing I really enjoy. So like taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, meditation, etc., right? All the things. And like there's nothing cooler than being in the zone while playing, right? And this is something we address a lot in the, or mainly you address a lot in the joint project we are doing, right? So how to get into this flow states, what kind of things you need to access it, and it's like everything plays together. So also like optimizing your life. It's not only about poker. Like what I learned in poker, it changed my whole life. Like even though these are like this not only for poker, like this is like how to improve your life. If you're transforming your body, you're transforming your mind, you're transforming like everything. How you are, like you're getting less angry with the kids or whatever. Like you're getting more calm, and overall you're just getting a better person, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I mean, it's remarkable how much people's perceptions of some of these basic foundations have changed. I was just reading a book by Dr. Peter Attia recently, and he talks about medicine 1.0, medicine 2.0, medicine 3.0. And really, medicine 3.0 is kind of part of the movement he is part of, about, having more emphasis on sleep and good nutrition and exercise. And it seems basic, but he sort of says, when he went to medical school, none of this stuff was mentioned.
Medical school.
He's probably about my age, which some people may think is old, but it really isn't. And but it's remarkable how often these foundations are overlooked in poker as well. And here's the thing. I mean, you talked about planning. You've had to plan your life because you've got a family now. But I would say there's still huge value, even if you're still 23 and you're single.
Exactly, Dan. There's the huge value when you're 23. Like when you have 4 kids and a wife, then it's basically over. Like you have to do it when you're 23, right?
But you can really optimize the way you play poker, what you do with the rest of your life, if you at that stage. And that's one of the things we really talk about. It also, work we're going to do together, we're going to talk about optimizing study. And I mean, again, one thing I would recommend to anybody who's interested in the spins format, I mean, you've already said it, Alex, it's really hard to find high quality content out there unless you're part of a stable. And, you're going to be putting out, video packs on the technical side, which are, really hit the key points, which are going to improve people technically. So this combination of the technical and the performance, the background foundations in terms of mindset, in terms of health, are really what's going to drive people forwards. So let's just talk about your future plans now, Alex, both in terms of personally and Team BAS. Where are you going? How do you see the future panning out?
Yeah, so personally, first, I need to lose a little bit of weight. So that's very, very huge. I struggle with that a little bit, but I already got a good plan to lose it. So that's number one. Also getting a little bit more fit, training a little bit more. That's for the personal side. However, personal goals are always also related to my Team BAS poker project, because this is our baby. We love this project. We love our people, and for the future we will just continue to make the great coachings, and we'll bring out more video packs. So at the moment, we just released, as we talked about fundamentals, how important they are, we actually released a video pack about spin and go fundamentals, where we'll go through each and every position. So how to play the button, how to play small blind with big blind three-way, etc., in the race board, in the limp board, how to play pre-flop, how to manipulate the ranges. And these are basically for beginners. I mean, not for like beginners, like for beginners in the spin and go format, or maybe for people who want to transition from cash game to spin and goes, for MTTs to spin and goes. Everyone who's playing from 25 cents to up like $5 or $10 bets. But I would say even a couple of $50 players bought the package and said it's like they almost got angry that we are selling this good content for like $100. Honestly, like I was like, okay, be happy, buddy. But yeah, so this and by the way, I think the mindset fundamentals, it is also, I would call it fundamentals, even though it is pretty advanced stuff, and like maybe even one of the most important stuff will be released very soon as well. So I think it's a very good combination to start at. And yeah, then we'll just continue the grind, growing our Twitch, growing our community, growing our YouTube, and growing our mindset library, the mindset part of it, etc. And yeah, our brand new website is live as well. So yeah, very proud of what we achieved so far. But yeah, it's just the beginning.
Yeah. Absolutely, and for anyone who's interested in exploring the spins format more, there will in the show notes be links to Team BAS, the packages we've referred to, but also the Discord server. Definitely hop on there and have a look around. So I definitely recommend anybody who's interested in the spins format having a good look at your content, because it's incredible value. As you've said, it is actually really difficult to get good quality spins content out there unless you are part of a stable. And in terms of value for money, this is absolutely huge. So have a look. By the way, I actually now, I'm very interested, even though I still play MTTs, I'm really interested in your content, because it still helps me play MTTs better. Because I think, having that short stack knowledge, how to play those three positions really, really well, is absolutely key, and it's a huge edge. So even if you're not a specific spins player, this kind of content will definitely raise your game for sure. So Alex, I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences here. I feel that sometimes spins players and the spins community doesn't get as much focus as maybe the MTT community, the top profile MTT players, and even cash players. But I think there's a huge amount of value out there, and there's a huge amount of very skillful players in the spins format. And I'm really glad you've shared your story with us.
Thank you very much for having me here. Really enjoyed this conversation.
So thanks to Alex for sharing his thoughts and experiences. If you are interested in the spins format, either to play spins professionally or as a serious recreational player, or even to improve your short stack game as an MTT player, I'd highly recommend going over and checking out the materials on Team BAS, because as somebody who's played MTTs as well as spins professionally, I can tell you it's really high quality stuff. So thanks to Alex again, and thank you again for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you next time on the Mindset Advantage podcast.
You've been listening to the Mindset Advantage podcast. To get future episodes delivered to you automatically, make sure to subscribe via iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcasting service. To get any resources mentioned in the episode or to listen to past shows, visit pokermindcoach.com/TMA podcast. Thanks for listening.